it's funny because this feels public, and because it's public, I kind of feel like I should be wearing a
face mask. Yeah.
But it's just the two of us in here. But it really feels like I should be wearing a face mask.
Yeah. It's we're all vaccinated.
Yeah. No, things are finally going back to normal.
It's nice. It's just weird being like exposing yourself to the world now without like John Cena shit on your face,
Yeah, you can't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think like I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I'll wear a mask that match the clothing,
Well,
like
that's because you're stylish.
I am stylish, but I rock sweatpants all the time, but it's like I got drip. No one realized it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, the world has changed, and because of that, YouTubers have grown. These internet hype trains have grown, and now because of it, we have Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Now, what?
This is
who?
This is a crazy one.
Yeah. So this came out of the blue. Completely.
Yeah. So we got everyone knows who Jake Paul is. He's the brother of Logan Paul, who is like a famous YouTuber. Jake Paul's also a famous YouTuber. I don't think anyone over the age of 12 seriously watches them. No. But I'm sorry if you do.
It's he makes videos for his audience is younger kids.
Yeah.
His audience is
I don't know if it's targeted at younger kids, but sometimes
that's like who happens to watch it.
Yeah. And then we got Ben Askren, former Olympic wrestler, former MMA champion, not in the UFC, but in promotions like Bellator and One Championship.
Yeah, two major organizations. Yeah. It's an impressive resume. But he uses his wrestling in his MMA fights. So that's where there's an interest for some people. Jake Paul is primarily a boxer. Granted, he's only been boxing 2 years.
3 years-ish.
3 years?
Yeah.
He hasn't fought any other fighters. I mean, his toughest fight has been against a 5'8" former NBA player.
I thought
who honestly only had 4 months to train.
Yeah, honestly, I think his toughest fight was against his first one, Deji, or whatever his name was. He got bloodied up in that one.
KSI's little brother?
Yeah, he got bloodied up in that one. That's when Jake Paul was like first getting into the
his toughest competition.
Correct, because he's an actual athlete. Like he sucks at boxing, but I'm pretty sure the average man could beat. Yeah, I'm saying the average man could probably beat Nate Robinson. Because there's that one lucky shot, and that's what I think. That's what a lot of people are talking about with Ben Askren. Is that so? If you guys didn't know, they're boxing this weekend. Saturday, I think the main card starts at 10 o'clock.
Not sure.
But they're boxing this weekend. It's one of those fights. Like you see some of those fights nowadays, like the recent Mike Tyson fight, where it's like, oh, this is obviously just like both guys want to get their name out there. And, like a lot of YouTubers are doing that now. Like I know,
it's for money.
Yeah.
For the most part, this fight is for money. A little bit, there's the connotation that Ben Askren is defending the validity of combat sports by if he is able to shut down this YouTuber who just started trash talking and getting a lot of views. If he can, because
and his trash talk's not good.
He talks trash like a little kid, but we've heard him calling for guys like Conor McGregor and even like Dylan Dennis, professional fighters.
Dylan Dennis he has 2 professional MMA fights. He's a great jiu-jitsu artist. I'll give him that.
Good grappler.
But I feel like Jake Paul has a better chance of beating Dylan Dennis than he does with Ben Askren. Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Askren, he's amongst very few men in his level of endurance.
Right.
And
that's
can go all day.
Slow twitch muscle fibers.
Yeah. I don't think Ben Askren can knock out Jake Paul like Jake Paul could knock out Ben Askren. Jake Paul is explosive. You got to give him that. He's young. He's quick. He does hit hard.
And that's because of his footwork. I don't think his punches like when he's hitting the mitts, it's really good. It looks like a professional boxer sometimes. But when you see him in the cage, it's a lot of like walking backwards and throwing like a big overhand right, which would be perfect for Ben Askren because we know he ducks his head a lot. That's how he got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal. But you don't see Jake Paul throw a lot of uppercuts. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, and
we've actually been seeing Ben Askren throw a lot of uppercuts,
especially in the Damian Maia fight. We saw it a little bit in the Damian Maia fight.
It's one of his better punches in boxing.
Yeah, and that's what Ben has. Like Jake Paul will like walk straight back. He drops his right hand a lot, and then he ducks under and throws that overhand right. And it's a good punch when it lands. It can he knocked out what's his name, Nate Robinson. His last one, he knocked out Nate Robinson with it.
Yeah,
and so.
But you can't back straight up like that if Ben Askren is working you. You know, he keeps pumping that jab on you. He keeps hitting you with that too, and when you try to dip on him, he catches you with that uppercut.
Yeah.
He keeps you honest and he backs you up because you can't. Jake Paul can't keep up with his pace. I think that's a given.
Yeah, I think if it makes it out of like round 5, it's going to be a problem for Jake Paul. He's going to get super tired. I don't think anyone's ever really pushed him. Like I don't think he hasn't been pushed by anyone. Like
his fights have been, and they've all been shorter fights because they're all amateur fights. So I believe he's only fought 2-minute rounds. He might have fought 3-minute rounds, but he's only fought a handful of rounds. I don't think he's ever.
I don't think he's ever. I think
he 6 rounds. Maybe.
I think he went to a decision with Deji.
Yeah.
I think. And then maybe his first professional opponent. He had so Deji was an amateur fight.
Has he had any pro fights?
Yeah, he has 2 pro fights, which it's against. I think it's against another YouTuber. And then against.
So I don't really count that.
Yeah, and then against Nate Robinson. It's his second pro fight.
That counted as a pro fight?
Yeah, he's 2 now.
How did Nate Robinson get sanctioned?
You get a license? It must have something to do with like the polling power of the promotions, because these promotions can do whatever they want.
In boxing, and especially these it's the independent YouTubers who are now just like making their own content.
Oh yeah.
So they kind of, as long as they feel like they can get away with it, they are gonna go for it.
Yeah, and then back to like the whole Ben Askren like pushing on Jake Paul. It's gonna make him like super tired. Like I don't know. So Logan Paul was the one who wrestled, right? Like I think he wrestled in college, or he wrestled at. He was a pretty decent wrestler.
Both wrestled. Logan Paul was the better wrestler of the two.
Okay, so
Jake wrestled though.
Right. He's not like. So a lot of people like think boxing is just going to be straight up. We're at like mid range, far range, just throwing jabs and stuff. There's a lot of clinch work. Like older fighters like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray, even in his second fight with Roberto Duran. Guys like Tommy Hearns, Mike Tyson even used to clinch a little bit. George Foreman, like really good boxers. Tyson Fury just beat Deontay Wilder, and like the big reason Deontay Wilder got tired a lot is because he kept pulling down on the back of his head. Like holding that much weight on the back of your head, you're gonna get tired.
He's making him work. He's making him carry his weight.
Even if he's not getting hit, he's still working.
Yeah. So, I think Ben Askren has that fight. I think it's gonna be a TKO in the later round. I think Jake Paul is gonna be uncomfortable. I think there's gonna be a mental block where he's never been in a situation quite like that before.
Right.
And I think it's gonna overwhelm him. That stress is gonna make him exhaust himself quicker as well. I think overall Ben Askren can just outwork him.
Yeah. When Ben Askren first announced the fight, he put like a little training video together. It looked really bad. Like it wasn't horrible.
Wasn't very clean.
I've seen new guys at a gym like me that can put like cleaner punches together, and I suck. So like
Ben's pretty old, and
he's got bad hips. I don't think he had a knee or a hip replacement. I think it was some kind of surgery.
One's fake.
Oh really? Wow. Okay. Wow. Jesus. But this week, he came out with another clip of him just hitting mitts. I know hitting mitts isn't gonna do everything. Yeah. It isn't gonna like. Hitting mitts is hitting mitts. It's not an actual fight, but it looked really good. Like his left hook was almost
I saw
perfect.
This video. I saw this video.
It was very good. Like fundamentals.
He still didn't look very quick.
Right, he's
Still
very
doesn't
slow.
look very powerful.
Yeah.
But his technique is clean.
Yeah.
So he can have sustained, effective attacks throughout the fight.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Like the whole card isn't going to be amazing, but like that fight, I mean, it's worth however much they're charging. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere around $60 or $50. So I mean, it's if you got cash.
Yeah, might as well.
So predictions: Rob picked Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Ben Askren. I'm gonna say probably somewhere after the 5th round too. Like it's. I don't know if he's gonna get a knockout. Like when guys get tested like that mentally, like they come back to their corner completely defeated. His corner might stop it. I'm gonna throw a crazy prediction out there that his corner's gonna stop it. I'm not sure how many rounds it goes, but I think his corner's gonna stop it. If it goes 8, if there's 8 rounds, I'm gonna say his corner stops it after the 7th. And if it's a 6-round fight, I'm gonna say his corner stops it after the 5th. So I'm gonna say corner stoppage, so TKO win for Ben Askren.
I'm gonna say, well, we all know. I think there's gonna be a TKO sometime after. I think it'll only take about 3 rounds before the panic sets in. Jake Paul, I don't think his corner would stop him. I think he has too many yes men with him. I mean,
I saw that on the Logan. So I regrettingly watched the Logan Paul podcast, and it was all like, chirp chirp chirp, like Jake Paul is my hero, kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah. No, I think he has too many yes men. I've seen some videos of him talking to Israel Adesanya at an after party, and I can't. Not really gonna say what happened. You gotta go find the video, but I think he's in over his head. He's definitely in over his head, and when it starts going wrong, I don't think he has anything to rely on.
Yeah. Because he hasn't. I don't know if he's ever been tested in the gym. That's just something we don't know.
I don't think he's ready for the momentum to be stopped or even slowed down. Because there's going to be speed bumps in this fight, no matter what. That's how it goes.
It's a fight. It's a fight. You know, like
that's how it goes.
When we spar, it's not like I'm going to do the move perfectly, and it's like, oh, that was super cool. It's like I'm going to attempt to move, and then the guy's going to move. Like, he's not going to just stand there to be hit.
Yeah.
He moves, and then I'm like, well, that kick missed, and now I'm getting countered, and I'm on my ass, and it's, it's a whole situation. So, nothing ever goes to plan.
Yeah. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Said Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So, that's the Ben Askren fight. We got another fight this weekend, probably not as exciting because this one's pretty cut and dry. Like
this one's more exciting for me.
Yeah, well, I have to say MMA.
It's a better fight.
It's more competitive.
Yeah, higher quality
striking, grappling, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, higher quality fighters.
Right. So you got this weekend on in the UFC, you got Robert Whittaker, the former middleweight champion, in my opinion, still probably one of the greatest middleweights of all time besides Anderson Silva. Because I don't know, I'm a huge Robert Whittaker fan. So
Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah, you got the former middleweight champion, someone who could probably give Israel Adesanya a run for his money now, I believe. And then you got Kelvin Gastelum, former middleweight title challenger, and just an all-around dog.
Also fight Israel. This fight, the winner doesn't just get a title shot. The winner gets a rematch with Israel Adesanya.
Who they both lost to. Who they both have lost to. Yeah. So Kelvin Gastelum has won 2 out of his last 5. That's really not great. That's
he's at a rough patch in his career.
Yeah, I think he got suspended a couple times for use of marijuana, which is like the UFC has started a new thing where I don't think marijuana is illegal anymore in drug tests, is it?
I think it's fine now.
Yeah, so I mean I approve of that. I think a recreational drug shouldn't be like, you're gonna not feel pain during a fight like they said with Nick Diaz in the 2000s.
Yeah, that defense is kind of funny. I don't know. I think obviously no fighter would choose. I know that story. He said he forgot and just did it out of habit, and didn't realize he wasn't supposed to. It was what he did during the day.
Yeah, and that's when I believe that was a Pride card in Las Vegas or in Nevada.
Yeah.
Pride did a drug test. Like.
Yeah,
so,
he was all right. He was fine.
Yeah.
But
this fight though. This fight's great. So both guys are going to be like working to get back to that title. They want that, you know. So like Robert Whitaker's looked really good in his past 2 fights against Darren Till and against Jared Cannonier.
Mm-hmm.
So he's won 4 out of his last 5, and Kelvin's won 2 out of the last 5. Like the key points for both guys is Bobby Knuckles needs to knuckle up. You know, his rushing in, it's great. It didn't work super well against Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I think the game plan just needed adjustments. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think
more grappling. Like I know it's hard to get Izzy to the ground, but like we saw in the Jan Blachowicz fight, you can hold him there. You can hold him there pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Israel doesn't know what he's doing.
Jan's a lot bigger.
Oh yeah, he was probably around 230 pounds.
Yeah,
somewhere
maybe,
around that.
Yeah, probably at least 220.
Right.
At least 220. He's bigger than anyone Izzy is gonna fight.
Right. And Robert Whitaker gets up to around 200-ish.
Yeah, but he used to fight at welterweight, so I know he doesn't cut a lot of weight.
He was hurting to get to welterweight.
Yeah, but that's
Kelvin Gastelum also used to fight at welterweight, but I think the thing with Kelvin Gastelum,
he loves to eat, man.
He loves food.
Henry Cejudo has said it before publicly.
He loves to eat. Yeah, like Kelvin Gastelum, if he fixed his diet, could make welterweight pretty well.
He could go back, but he loved to eat.
Yeah,
and you know
I don't blame
that
him
might make him better. You know,
if he's happy in camp,
if he feels good. That might make him a better fighter, yeah.
Yeah, if he's happier in camp, like that's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelvin Gastelum, he's got like probably one of the best southpaw 1-2s in the UFC.
Oh yeah.
He knocked out a ton of guys with that. Like, there's still the knockout against Michael Bisping. I can't watch that knockout.
Yeah,
it's so bad. Those are like
hurts my heart.
Yeah, those are some of the knockouts you can't really you don't like watching.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bisping. Stipe versus DC1, Stipe versus Ngannou 2. God, I cried.
Yeah.
And then
I still haven't watched any replays.
Frankie Edgar
since fight night.
Frankie Edgar when he got knocked out by Corey Sandhagen and by Korean Zombie, or was that Brian Ortega?
Ortega.
Yeah, those 2 fights. Those are the 2 ones with Frankie Edgar I don't like watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kelvin Gastelum. He's when he's on, he's like the top. He's like one of the best in the division, but. You can tell that sometimes he's just not there really.
Yeah.
Like he didn't show up that night.
Yeah. He has some of the fastest hands. Like that 1-2 combo.
That he caught Michael Bisping with was fast. That was really fast.
The speed on his punches. That's what makes this fight exciting because I think we all know Whitaker's the better technical striker.
Mm-hmm.
Whitaker has a better gas tank.
Right.
And that actually ties into the season of The Ultimate Fighter they coached together, where they actually they ran a 5K opposing each other. Yeah. And Gastelum was throwing up, and Whitaker did it easily.
Yeah.
I think obviously it's been a long time since that, and who knows what was going on with Gastelum that day. He might not even have known that was happening. He might have been out drinking the night before. He might have been out drinking that morning, man.
He's a grown man. Smoke a little bit that morning, show up to practice.
In Las Vegas. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? You know, it's been a while, but we've been waiting for that fight.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen like, what was it, 2018?
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's been, 3 years now.
Jeez, man. Time flies. But yeah, they were supposed to fight in 2018, and Robert Whitaker had I believe, an intestinal problem?
Yeah, it was essentially a hernia, but it was very serious.
Oh, they had to have emergency surgery, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to pull out the night before the fight.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a replacement, because on that short notice, it's hard to get someone in like that. But, so they were supposed to fight, they didn't fight. Kind of like what started getting this back going was Kelvin Gastelum was walking around with Henry Cejudo's belt, like during the fights, which was that was cringy.
In my opinion, cringy. But hey, man, that's how Cejudo does it, and it works.
It got him a title shot, against Izzy.
It works, man. It works.
Speaking of, like, real quick, off topic a little bit, I think Henry Cejudo wants to box Floyd Mayweather.
I really want to watch that. I do. Ooh.
Like, we need more of that. Like, the whole gimmicky, like, boxing thing, it's like, it kind of to me is like, let's, preserve the sport because the sport's already dying. So it's kind of, but this honestly helps. Like, this, a lot of people are watching boxing.
These are real fighters.
Yeah, a lot of people are watching boxing now.
Yeah.
But
I think the trash talk's going to be funny because I think Floyd Mayweather talks much better shit.
Yeah, Henry Cejudo is the king of cringe, but Floyd Mayweather knows how to promote a fight.
Yeah, he'll trash talk you like a grown man. Henry Cejudo has very good, like, one-liners.
Yeah.
But they're funny one-liners.
They're made up. They're ready to go before.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what we got. So, like, we were talking about keys to victory. That 1-2, and then Whitaker slips off and throws his high kick. That's gonna be
against the southpaw Gastelum. He's gonna be throwing to his open side.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is gonna be a major weapon. I think his movement is far superior, and his technical striking is far superior. It'll be the same story as the Ben Askren fight. You will see Whitaker's not slow, so I don't want to call him the slower fighter.
Right.
But Kelvin Gastelum has thrown some of the fastest punches we've ever seen.
Yeah. And something we haven't talked about is Kelvin's grappling. We haven't seen him use it like a ton recently, which is weird because he came into the UFC as a grappler. That's how he won the Ultimate Fighter against Uriah Hall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he won the Ultimate Fighter against Uriah Hall. And we don't see him grapple a lot. I think a lot of wrestlers fall in love with their hands. I know Tyron Woodley fell in love with his hands.
Yeah.
Johnny Hendricks.
Romero.
Yeah, a lot of guys fall in love with their hands because they got
DC
that power.
Even.
Yeah, DC.
Cain
John
Velasquez,
Jones.
Stipe.
Yeah, a lot of these guys. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. So I think he fell in love with his hands, which is a good thing because he's got pretty good hands, But I think if he mixes up a little bit with like a surprise takedown against Whitaker, cause I think he fought Ian Heinisch like before this, right? Was that Ian Heinisch?
Whitaker?
His last match? No, Gastelum.
I'm not sure. I don't really.
I don't think I watched that fight. That's bad on me. But no, yeah. I think he used a little bit of wrestling in that fight from what I can like remember from clips. But
that'd be interesting for this fight because people want to see Whitaker's wrestling because everyone knows that's a factor when you fight Izzy. That's
he took Darren Till down, didn't he?
Do. I think he did.
He took Jared Cannonier down too.
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, Whitaker's no slouch on the ground. Like
he wrestled. He fought essentially 50 minutes, almost an hour total octagon time against Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
So he can wrestle.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Whitaker's still alive. To be honest, that's
terrifying
crazy. That's
imagine.
crazy. I don't blame Darren Till for being scared of Yoel.
Yeah, everyone is.
Yeah,
Whitaker is a different kind of guy.
Yeah. So predictions for this fight, I think I'm obviously gonna go with Robert Whitaker. I don't know if Kelvin Gastelum, he's not the better technical boxer. He's kind of on a skid. I know he doesn't have a losing streak right now, but he's kind of on a skid where like his last fight was against like the 10th or 11th ranked guy in the division. So and then now he's fighting like the number one contender. So like part of me thinks the UFC set this up as kind of like a warm up fight for Robert Whitaker. That kind of sucks to say, but I don't know. I just don't.
It still is may the best man win.
Right.
Everyone thinks it's gonna be Whitaker. We just want to have one more. We want to have one more fight. Really, it's a cash grab because the hype has been there for this fight for a while now.
We've had some crappy main events recently too, and like because
you need something exciting.
Right, and this will do it. This is
his apology for Kevin Holland's fights, which I love Kevin Holland, and I just know he's already talked about it in interviews. His approach to MMA just wasn't as serious as some of the people he was fighting. So hey man, he was young. He was early in his career. He was fighting Derek Brunson. That was a major step up in competition.
Right.
Derek
he
Brunson
beat
was
Jacare. Jacaré's kind of old though. Like,
yeah,
he's kind of out of it now.
Maybe Brunson was good. I don't know. I felt like he should have taken a long break off after that. I don't know how off of a loss he fought a higher ranked opponent.
He's always. I think the UFC the UFC will put him in any fight because he's got that fan attraction. Even if the fight's boring, he's always talking crap, which gets the fans like, oh, that was a great fight. You see, he was talking the whole time. It's like, no, it wasn't. Like, it wasn't a great fight. Like, a great fight is like Max Holloway versus Kelvin Kattar. That's a great fight, and that's not. I'm not saying that I hate grappling. I'm saying that I don't like when someone just like lays on top of someone.
Lays and prays.
And I'm not trying to like criticize Marvin Vettori.
Yeah.
Like, Marvin Vettori's great. Like, I think him and Whitaker should fight. That'd be a great one. But Whitaker's obviously going to get a title or a shot at the title if he beats Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's not taking anything away from Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Predictions. Robert Whitaker. Yeah. I think he's gonna win by unanimous decision. I think he's gonna probably dominate the fight.
Yeah.
I think Gastelum is gonna have some moments in the fight.
100%.
But I don't think Gastelum will win.
I'm seeing a 4th round knockout for Robert Whitaker. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's after Kelvin's fight with Israel, it's hard to imagine Kelvin getting knocked out.
Right.
Truthfully, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Because Robert Whitaker is a different breed.
Yeah.
He is the Reaper. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about Paulo Costa being like the most powerful guy in the division. A lot of people don't like realize that his like knockouts come from like an accumulation of strikes. Yeah. But like Robert Whitaker can hit you with one shot, and it's. Yeah. Also, Paulo Costa's a bitch. Just want to put that out there. Just saying. I mean, of course you like Paulo Costa.
He trash talks with Henry Cejudo. You know, so it's
they're friends.
The same,
they got that guy in the white glasses.
It's the same school. They're all. That's the thing. It's them, Colby Covington. If you hate them, they're winning. That's their game, man. They're gonna act like that.
I just didn't like the excuse. Like that mentality is not gonna.
I don't think he was being that serious. Yeah. If anything, he admitted first and foremost that he was just way too scared. And that's
what
why
Izzy does to you, unless you're Polish.
Yeah. Apparently. And bigger than him.
Oh, yeah, by a lot.
A weight class above.
Yeah.
All right. So, a lot of people have heard about this. A lot of people have heard.
This is a spicy one. I've heard about this.
You've heard about
I've heard about this. This is a spicy one.
Before Conor McGregor's fight with Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor said he would give $500,000 to Dustin Poirier's charity, the Good Fight Foundation.
Right, which is a great charity, by the way. I've donated myself. They're awesome.
Yeah, no, they're great. Khabib did a great thing with them. That was a beautiful moment between Khabib and Dustin Poirier. Yeah. Two of the best dudes in MMA.
Two of the most respectful dudes. Yeah.
They're respectable as well.
Oh, 100%. Those are role models.
Yeah,
those are people you want your kids to watch.
Yeah.
So Conor McGregor promised $500,000 to Dustin Poirier's charity, The Good Fight, and after the fight, he did not deliver.
Yep, no money was sent.
Right.
To the Good Fight Foundation. Dustin Poirier called him out for it. Conor said his team looked to see what their plan was to do with the $500,000, and they couldn't find a plan in place. The Good Fight Foundation actually did try to contact McGregor's team and try to tell them what their plan is with the money. McGregor's team never responded to that.
I think that's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's pretty clear what happened, and
I mean, honestly, of course, there's two sides to every story, and there's three. There's Group A, Group B, and then there's the truth. You know, and the truth is always somewhere in the middle. But I think it's kind of scummy to say you're going to donate to a charity. So Conor McGregor has been going down this path for a long time of doing scumbag things, where he was such like a big inspiration for like Irish MMA fans, or like it was like, whoa, there's someone that's like from that country that is not a fighting nation, or is not like, they don't have a lot of fighters in the UFC, and he's going out there and he's like, wow, we're doing it for Ireland. And then it's like, he got all the fame, he got all the money, he fought Floyd Mayweather, and then he was like, I'm gonna beat up old people in bars and smash people's cell phones and get a ton of speeding tickets and throw a dolly at a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well, he said he's pulled out of the fight.
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, we have to see if that's true or not.
I don't believe it's true, because he said he was gonna pull out, and then the next tweet he said something about beating him up.
Yeah, I think he's trying to mimic John Jones' move.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Go tell what you said.
I think when John Jones is threatening to leave and not fight, and the UFC then says they'll pay him more, and John says, okay, we can do this, I think Conor McGregor sees that, and he says that I need to play around a bit more because they'll fork up some money.
Yeah. Like John Jones said, $8 million was not enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he asked for $50 million.
50?
Yeah.
No, Khabib doesn't even make that much. I think that's what Conor got paid against Khabib, and that's the biggest fight, like the biggest pay-per-view the UFC's ever had. And Ngannou versus Jones is not doing that numbers.
Sponsorships.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Ngannou versus Jones.
It'll be big.
Big as and important as it is for the sport.
It'll break 1 million buys, I think.
Oh yeah, 1 million for sure. But it won't.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna be the biggest fight.
It ain't McG money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that ain't no McGregor money.
Right. And
that ain't no Henry Cejudo Floyd Mayweather money.
That's gonna get paid. Speaking of McGregor money, McGregor has enough money to like throw at yachts and women and whatever, and he can't donate money. That's ridiculous.
That's silly.
That's scummy. Also, I'm pretty sure that gets you a tax write-off too. So,
yeah,
like, I don't know. It just seems super fake.
Yeah. Speaking of fake, it's what you all came for. Fake boxing. There's an epidemic in this world,
right,
of people pretending they have fight experience. There's something with fighting, unlike other sports and other disciplines, where a lot of men are a little delusional about their skill level, which honestly, that's just true with men.
Yeah.
So most men are delusional about what they can do, but you meet people sometimes that have stories of fights they've previously had, and this is a story of a guy we met who was one of those people.
We're at this party. We're watching the UFC. It's a what was it, the Adesanya card?
Yeah, it was Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah. So we're watching that fight, and this dude is like talking about how, because we're trying to set up some fights because it's fun. That's what we do at parties.
Yeah, we spar, we put on a show.
So Rob and I always put on a show at parties. Like what happened? He hit me good, Rob, and then like my nose gets all bloody, and I look at like the crowd. It's like a group of friends, and I smile when I'm like my full face is bleeding. It's just for fun.
Yeah.
But so like we're doing fights, like a ton of the other people there are like fighting each other. It's great. Everyone's having a good time. Some girl with 16 concussions almost knocked this chick out. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, we were, we keep it light, we keep it playful. It's martial arts. It should be like any other sport or any other game.
Right.
Keep it fun and playful. When you're being serious, you're being serious. Right. That's not what we were doing.
We were having fun.
And,
like, Rob didn't mean to make me bleed. I'm just I leak.
His nose bleeds a lot. Everyone in his family has had their nose cauterized.
Yeah.
So, we didn't realize that these girls were going to come out at full strength and, like, actually try to knock each other out.
I taught her one combination, and, like, this was after the fight. And, like, this girl was, like, I put up my hand for her to hit it, and she hit it, like, hard. I'm like, whoa. Chill out. Like, you don't got to throw everything with, like, full intensity. Yeah. And she, what was it, like a right hook? This girl, like, comes in with, like, her hands down.
It was like a D-swing. Like, she basically stuck her arm straight out and then swung it over. She would jab and then throw that haymaker. Yeah. But it wasn't like an overhand. It was just straight lateral. It was a sidearm hook.
Right. And you see a lot of like inexperienced people throw that. It's just because that's a punch, you know. I'm throwing a punch, but so she mollywops her, and we're like, whoa, chill, like.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a bad thing that we started off first, because it's like these guys just beat each other up. No, we didn't.
We weren't even going that hard.
Yeah, we were
not going as hard as those girls.
It looks like we were going hard because I was bleeding.
That girl was insane.
Yeah, but so this dude is talking about how, going back to fake martial arts, this dude is talking about how he was like, I used to box in New York. I boxed in New York for like 5 years, and I'm talking to him more, and he's talking to some friends, and he's teaching them how to throw punches by like crossing your feet, which is wrong. But so he's teaching them how to like walk forward and throw punches, which you can do that, but you want to stand in like your stance still.
Yeah, you're not what he was saying.
Right.
Not what he was saying.
Yeah. So we pick it up a little bit.
We could tell the technique he was teaching was BS.
Yeah, you could tell.
He was saying what he had like observed in maybe a street fight, but he told me he had over 22 like kickboxing, MMA, and boxing like amateur fights. And then when I asked him more questions, he said they were underground.
They're in the streets.
Yeah.
I don't fight in a cage. I fight in the streets.
He said he didn't even say streets. He just said underground MMA and kickboxing. Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither do I. It just is supposed supposed to sound cool.
I mean, do we technically fight underground?
He changed his voice. Technically. But he changed his voice, and he changed the way he was looking at me when he said it. And I knew he was looking for a response. And I knew I freaked him out.
He was acting cool.
Because I kept my face, like I was completely poker faced. And then I asked him, I'm like, oh, so you wanna get around in?
He dodged it a little bit, you know?
Yeah, he said he wasn't feeling it that night.
Right.
And then he actually boxed this guy.
He agreed to box me. So I'm guessing because he saw Rob beat me up in sparring. Well, I mean, it's sparring, you know, whatever. Like, he landed more strikes, but like, it you know, it's just for fun. But,
high pressure.
Yeah. Just
a lot of volume.
Yeah. Which I suck at dealing with. To everyone out there who wants to fight me, I suck at pressure. So homeboy is like, he gets out of the bathroom, and I'm not like lurking at the bathroom, but like he gets out of the bathroom, like, hey man, after these people fight, because there's some other fight going on, I was like, after these people fight, you wanna box? He's like, yeah, sure. So that fight finishes up, and I lace up. You know, I put my game face on.
We have Velcro gloves.
Yeah, sorry, I grip up.
Hey, you just slap the glove on.
Anyway, so I put my gloves on, and I get my game face on, like I'm ready to go, and I look over, and this dude's smiling. I'm like, okay, so we're chilling out. It's a chill sesh. And then, so we come out the gate, and his hands are immediately like this, which is how you see kids like fight like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, he doesn't know anything. So I start putting on him a little bit. I'm getting some pressure going, and you know, I put my hands up because I'm you know, messing with him a little bit.
Constant.
Yeah, and so I'm mollywopping him. And he takes his shoes off, and he has only his socks on now on like a hardwood floor, and I'm like,
which is much worse for traction. You'd be sliding much more.
Like, first of all, even if you don't box, that's like you know you just walk around the house like running around with like your socks on.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, clearly, I don't know. Clearly, the dude, he wanted to sound cool and didn't realize that we weren't trying to sound cool. We were just genuinely.
That's what we do.
Like we. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our passion, kind of.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, we get done with the fight because like he did like I hit him with a left hook and then an uppercut, and then he does like the chicken dance a little bit, or like he slips or something. I'm not sure what it was, and then I'm like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
And because like at that point it's just unnecessary, and then like he's talking about. He comes up with something like, oh, I'd be used to throwing more kicks, and then Rob comes over and he's like all amped up. He's like, he does Muay Thai. He does Muay Thai. Like,
yeah,
like, you guys should kick.
Mac does Muay Thai. You guys can throw kicks. I have shin guards in my car.
Yeah, I had shin guards. I think I had shin guards in my bag there, but like, he's like, oh no, I'm done. But hey, man, it's cool. Like I'm guessing he learned. I didn't want to say I like checked him, but like I mean he learned his lesson.
Yeah, he got checked.
Yeah, but so we had that happen like 2 weeks before that too at another party.
Yeah, it was funny. A guy started going for a wrist lock. It wasn't good. He wanted to use wrist locks to counter punches.
Which you can't. So you can't catch a
you can't reliably catch a punch.
There's no work though.
Especially not against someone who knows what they're doing. Anywho, people who definitely 100% totally know what they're doing. Mike Perry. They made a documentary about him.
It was a YouTube documentary. It wasn't like a fully produced documentary. It's on this channel called Beige Frequencies. They've done a couple MMA documentaries. They have one about the TRT era. They have one about Brendan Schaub. That's more of like his comedian stuff, but they bring up his MMA career. They have one on the Reebok deal. Mm-hmm. They have some cool videos, and they also have stuff about like, I'm kind of like hyping up this channel right now. I like these guys, but like they have
all right, Mike Perry documentary.
Okay, anyway, so part 1 of this Mike Perry documentary comes out, and it's going over like a little bit of like controversies with Mike Perry, and it's like they're going over some controversies. Like he used to say the N-word a lot, like, but Tyron Woodley said it was cool, so it's cool. Take that for what you want, but so they're talking about all that, and then like when you go further in the documentary, like we're starting to come up to like modern events, and it cuts over to like Darren Till being like doing his thing.
Bullying him.
Yeah, Darren Till was really mean to him, and I don't think it was okay.
Really?
No, it was hilarious. That was
awesome. For you.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Liverpool bloke. Like, that's what they do. But so it goes further down this rabbit hole of like Mike Perry kind of changing, and there's like a lot of interviews that I didn't realize that were out there that they brought up. Like, they were talking about like he had an interview where he like threatened to beat up media personnel. He said that if he saw like Darren Till on the street, that he would go to jail. Like, and then I didn't even know that Darren Till and Mike Perry had a sparring session.
You know, that's where the meme comes from, because Mike Perry couldn't tell that Darren Till asked if he was wanting to spar. Yeah, because he doesn't.
Oh, I thought you meant spa.
yeah.
That was.
He thought he wanted to go to a sauna.
Yeah.
But he wanted to let's punch each other.
Yeah. Part 2 is coming out soon though, because part 1 came out about a week ago, so I think part 2 is coming out soon. I'm really excited for that. I want to see, like, they haven't touched on more recent stuff where Mike Perry just goes insane. Mike Perry is an anomaly. He is not the best fighter in the world, but he draws fans, and I think that's what the UFC wants.
Yeah,
he draws
Kevin
fans.
Holland is another example of that.
Right, he draws fans.
Conor, he's been losing fights.
Right.
He's lost a lot of his fights, but he's getting a rematch with Poirier, and the winner's probably getting a title shot. So, I don't know if that's fair. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but they do have the lightweight is going to be between Charles Oliveira, who deserves it. The fight should be Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. But it's Charles Oliveira versus a newcomer who has 1 win in the UFC.
Michael Chandler. It doesn't make sense.
That's for a different podcast. We'll talk about that when we're closer there. But, so, Mike Perry is not the greatest fighter in the world. He draws fans, though, because he's entertaining. And he's the kind of fighter that'll die in the cage and be okay with it, you know. 100%. But it's weird. It's weird for Mike Perry to. I think he needs professional help.
I think it's funny because he actually just fought, and we aren't even talking about his loss.
I mean, he got beat up for 3 rounds.
Yeah, he just I don't know.
He doesn't.
I think he's with a new team. And he was in the best shape I've ever seen him in. So let's hope this new team can keep him on that focused
right.
path to straight and narrow.
This next fight will tell a lot. Like he just fought recently, so he's probably not going to get matched up for like another 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But this next fight
he
is
needs
going to tell a lot.
A layoff.
He needs time off, 100%.
Yeah. He needs to figure out his life first.
Yeah. And you know he seems like a really cool guy, you know. It's just that he had a really bad upbringing. He grew up in Flint, Michigan, which isn't like a great place to live.
No,
but,
I don't know.
Yeah, and then he moved down to Florida. You know, went to jail for 6 months. I don't know. I feel like the UFC attracts people like that for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think that's all pro sports,
it's entertainment business. So anything that people like to ogle at is going to rise to the top.
Right.
Of the cream. Inside joke.
All right. So what do we got? What do we got next, Rob?
It's been 45 minutes. You want to call it here?
All right. Yeah, we can call it here. So that's episode 4 of 1-2 Talk.
Yeah, we're rebranding on the new channel.
Yep.
Vladislav Gaming. That's what this is on.
Yeah, we're gonna try and have episodes out every Thursday. No promises, but
yeah, no promises.
We're gonna try though.
It took us 1 year to get 4 episodes. Yeah. So
but
no promises.
We'll try. Can we try, Rob?
We can try.
We can try. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. I think that's all we got for today.
Yeah. No, it's been a good one. Exciting fights coming up this weekend. Let's just remind everybody, Ben Askren is fighting Jake Paul.
Right.
Look out for Jake Paul to get overwhelmed, like
to
even
get knocked out.
On a
Look
mental
out
level.
for him to get knocked out.
Who? Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Dude, he's
Whitaker Gastelum. Everybody be on the lookout for that fight because that's the best main event in a while. It's been not a lot of main events recently have been top tier talent.
Those are top talented guys, except
these are championship
that's a pay per view. That doesn't really like that. Pay per views are supposed to be good.
The fight nights haven't had any upper echelon fighters as of recent. No, not a title eliminator. Nothing with stakes like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 big fights this weekend. There's not like a whole lot of like talent on the UFC card, but you know the sleeper cards are honestly the best ones. So keep your eyes open, guys.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Stay safe. Enjoy me awkwardly walking over the camera.
We need a button for that.